Kia ora and welcome back to another episode of That Happy Habit, the podcast. I am your host, Meg Goodman, and we are into episode 10. Today is going to be Don't Let Fear Hold You Back. For so many years in my life, I let the fear of what other people would think, the fear of myself, and honestly, just this big fear hold me back from so much achievement and so much accomplishment. So I'm so excited to deep dive into that this episode. But before we do that, just a quick intro to get into the episode. So I'm well back into school for term 2. It's very full on and winter sport is about to kick right off, and I'm a netball coach for my school, which I really enjoy. Along with all of that, the school musical, as I said earlier in a few episodes, that I have committed to being a bit of a music director for this, which is really outside my comfort zone. But I'm loving it. It's full on. There's lots going on for it. So that's absorbing quite a big amount of my time. Along with that, the business is going really well. So I've decided what my second product is going to be. I've got a few donations here and there, probably sponsorships for the giveaway, which is going to be really cool. So I just need to sort out printing it. So I'm currently saving for that. So if you haven't yet purchased a productivity planner, I would really love you to, because every one that's purchased helps me get a step closer to my next goal in this business, which is super exciting. I'm also really looking forward to being able to figure out like the postage side of it and like how I'm going to wrap it, and because I bought like little stickers that have my logo on them and cards that I can write notes, which I'm really looking forward to just being able to really touch base with my customers and my clients and my friends who purchase and honestly let them know how much it means to me and that every little bit really helps me. Along with this, it's been a big week for my family. So my siblings, both of them have just moved overseas. My one of them doesn't know when he's going to come back. So that's pretty crazy. It's exciting and nerve-wracking. And then my cousin is about to move overseas as well. So she's just bought a one-way ticket, and it's all just super exciting and I'm so happy for them. But it is hard to see your family go and to see them kind of jump all around. Yay. My recommendation for the week is something that I've been doing quite a bit lately. I went through a phase of not really liking the beach for a bit, just getting annoyed with it going in my the sand in my shoes and stuff. But I'm coming back into it. So my recommendation is to go down to the beach and just spend 15 minutes doing a little bit of a meditation to get in check with that and just reconnect with yourself. So thank you so much. I hope that you enjoy this episode as much as I do, because I think that this episode has so much value in the sense that fear should not have this power over you. So let's get into it. Don't let fear hold you back. It's really common for people to be afraid of something or to be afraid of the unknown and use it as a reason not to achieve. People often hold themselves back from things that they didn't even know they were capable of, or things that subconsciously they didn't even know they wanted to try. And I feel like for so many years of my life, I have held myself back by being afraid. So I thought it would be a really cool chance to give myself a bit of a pep talk, give you guys a bit of a pep talk, and just a bit of tough love in the sense that you need to stop letting fear be a reason that you stop achieving. So it's really difficult to step out of your bubble. And I think it's important here for me to acknowledge that it is uncomfortable doing what's unknown, and it is extremely uncomfortable being someone that you didn't know you could be and evolving and growing and becoming a better and better human as you evolve, and leaving behind people that no longer serve you and leaving behind areas of your life that no longer serve you, and just slowly getting more and more evolved. And I think that is a terrifying thought, and people who don't know you or people who did know you will start to get intimidated by that, and acknowledging that that is their fear, not yours. So you need to not let their fear be a reason that you stop evolving. Now, I'm going to take this back to a story that actually has kind of a bit from my personal life and a bit of an area of where I've let fear hold me back personally. So for such a long time, I've really played with the idea of being an influencer. I've always wanted to talk to people, and I've always wanted to be someone who shares ideas and someone who inspires others and allows them to become the best version of their self. And I think like this goes back right to when I was in high school. I had a fitness page when I was in high school. Can't remember what it was called. Oh, actually, it was called Meg in the Making. And I remember it so, I loved that page so much. I had like super fond memories of it. And I used to use it as a tool to motivate me to exercise. And I actually really enjoyed it. And I then got embarrassed when people that I knew started to find the account. So I had it on private, I had it so that nobody could see it, and I used to get really, really embarrassed when people would find it. And so then I deleted it because I was so afraid of what people would think. And then again, I came to university and I did it again. I made a page. I grew it up to about 1,000 followers, and then I got embarrassed of what people would think, so I deleted it. And I can't believe that I would let the fear of what people around me would think hold me back so much to the point that I would delete all the stuff that I'd worked so hard to create. And what I find so amazing now is I do consider myself an influencer now. The way I look at it is I have 1,300 people following me on Instagram at the moment of this recording. And if 1,300 people approached me, I would be terrified. Like, there are so many people, and I think it's important to take a step and acknowledge how far you've come and how you've grown. I remember starting that happy habit and sitting down on the couch with Josh and going, I think I want to take this seriously this time. And I'm ready to not be embarrassed about it. And like asking Josh to film me and going, look, I'm going to film cooking dinner tonight. Is that okay? And just taking that step outside of my comfort zone and going, it's okay to be different from what I have been, because that is how you evolve. And trying to understand that I am allowed to be who I want to be, and I don't have to let that fear hold me back. Your fear has such a power over you, and if you are afraid of something and you are worrying about what other people have to say all the time, or you're worrying how someone else is going to respond, you're never going to step outside of that comfort zone and do it. Do you think I felt comfortable recording my first podcast episode? No. Here I am on episode 10, thriving. It may not be hitting top 20 on the Billboard charts or whatever that is, but I know even if there's 4 people listening to this podcast, I appreciate every single one of them so much that the feeling of potentially being embarrassed gets entirely wiped. And like everything in my life I've ever done, I've been afraid. Like I look back on my first day of teaching, that was terrifying. And now I walk into a classroom and don't even bat an eyelid in front of 30 kids and go, hey, all sit down. And I just walk in and authoritate the room. But to me, 2 years ago, that was the most terrifying thought, to walk into a room and have to do that. Or paying a mortgage now, that was a terrifying thought, and I was afraid of that, and now I do it. And everything that you have been afraid of, it's only evolved to be the best thing I've ever done. I don't think anything successful in my life that I have done, I haven't been afraid of. I wanted to make a cake making business when I was in uni, and I did, probably not correctly, but I did. And I was afraid of it. I was afraid of what people would think. I was afraid. And it's honestly part of the reason I don't make cakes anymore, is I was so afraid of disappointing people that I honestly felt like I could not publish, I couldn't do anything. And actually something that's coming up on That Happy Habit on across my social media is a 14-day happy habit challenge. And it's a free piece of content. And I was afraid prior to posting it that I was ripping people off. And I'm like, it is literally a free piece of content, Meg. How can you be afraid of ripping people off? And now I've published this content and explained when it's starting. It's starting on the 15th of May, if any of you are interested in joining. But at the end of the day, whoever joins it wants to be there. And absolutely everyone who is in this is like-minded to me and wants to see success and is ready to step out and leave that boundary and stop letting fear be a reason that they don't do things. I want to share a bit of an insight into myself and a bit of how I've kind of grown to understand my fear. And it actually comes down to, I've always been quite a jealous person. Like, not in terms of like, relationship jealousy or that kind of stuff. Just jealous of what other people have. And seeing someone who could confidently post what they wanted on social media or be an influencer, and I would get jealous of them for trying, and then it would come across as an ugly kind of, oh, but they're doing better than me and they don't deserve that. That person has worked hard. And I can now acknowledge that as someone who is trying to go in this area. It is hard work, and I put a lot of time and a lot of weekend hours and a lot of morning hours. I'm waking up at 6 in the morning and I'm sitting doing content planning, but I love it. And I almost feel sorry for the years that I felt jealous of those people because I was wasting so much time. I feel sorry for past Meg. I wish she was able to look, sit and acknowledge, actually, you're jealous because you're too afraid to do that yourself. So next time you say to someone, or you think in your head, oh, well, why is that person doing that? And you get judgmental. I want you to look real deep into yourself and go, well, am I jealous of that? Is that something that I want? Is that somewhere that I see myself, or is that something that I want to do? Because for so many years of my life, I used fear as a way to hide who I was and to put blame on others and to become jealous. I think if you want to let go of the fear, and I know that everyone says it, and I knew that when I'd say it on here, it would sound a little cliche and silly. And I know that it's something when people say it to you, you just go, oh, but you just have to not care. You actually just have to stop caring what people think. So something that I've done to help myself manage when I'm feeling a little overwhelmed or I'm feeling like I'm caring too much about what people think, I always come back to my why. And it sounds, I know people say it online all the time, know your why, understand your why, but my why is to help educate others, to create a supportive environment that is able to encompass everything about myself. When I look at my business and what I'm trying to market, I'm actually trying to market me. I am who I'm selling, kind of, if that makes sense. Like, I want to market my personality. So that is my why. My why is to create a supportive community and an environment where people feel safe and they feel supported and they feel like they are allowed to evolve and they don't have to be afraid to try new things and they don't have to be afraid to be who they are. So if I can always come back to my why, I'm then able to understand that I shouldn't be afraid of that. And that if my why is to do this, why would I not start a podcast? Because it allows me to reach a whole new range of people. Why would I not create a YouTube? Because it allows me to reach, again, a whole new range of people. Why would I not create the next product? It doesn't matter how the first launch of your product went. This is a new product and it's exciting and you're allowed to do this. And when you're afraid of something, I want you to remember that every other person who's doing something similar or is stepping outside of their comfort zone, they are also afraid. It's not comfortable doing what you're not comfortable with. So you have to learn to get comfortable being uncomfortable. If you try and hyper focus on what you're comfortable in, you are never going to progress. You are never going to change and you will never find success in new areas. It's so difficult to think of these kinds of things and to think that every other person's feeling like this. But even so, an example of my week at the moment of what something that's making me afraid. So I'm currently at a gym that I really love and I love the people there. I enjoy it. My friend works there. I'm really comfortable and I feel supported. And for so many years, I had so many issues with joining gyms and worrying what people thought of me and feeling like, oh, look at her. She shouldn't be doing that, because I was jealous of all of them doing so many amazing things. But anyway, I'm currently looking at potentially moving to a gym closer to home because at the moment I have to drive 20 minutes to go to the gym. And I'm a busy person and I currently commute 2 hours a day for work. So if I went to a gym closer to home, on the weekends I'd be able to save time. If I got home and it was raining so I couldn't run, I could quickly pop down to the gym. So I'm looking at doing that. But I'm afraid of going to a new gym because I'm inside a little comfortable bubble. I am scared to leave because I feel so supported. And I think it's important to learn where you're comfortable and it's okay, but if you're comfortable in compromising. So in my personal life at the moment, something that I don't have a lot of is time. And if I am compromising time in order to stay comfortable, it's not worth it. Because I need as much time as I can get in my day, because I value having time with my fiance at our house with our cat. And if I'm driving 40 minutes to get to and from the gym on the weekend to do a 50-minute workout, I'm not prioritizing my time with my partner. I'm actually prioritizing being in my car. And that's staying in my little comfort bubble. So there, I am letting fear hold me back. There's nothing to say that I don't love the gym down the road, and there's nothing to say that I'm not going to thrive there. So I need to just pluck up the courage and go for the trial. So I'm doing that on Tuesday because we have another teacher's strike day. So I'm just putting on my big girl pants, as I would say, because you never really feel like an adult. What even is the term an adult? But I'm like 24 now, and I feel like a 15-year-old is driving around trying to make all these adult decisions, paying a mortgage. And I just don't understand at what stage you begin to feel like an adult. But anyway, that's a whole nother ball game. But I just think if you can stop letting that fear of what others are doing, what others are thinking, holding you back, you are going to evolve and become a person that you don't even recognize. So I challenge you this week. I want you to stop overthinking it in your head. Do not worry what anybody else thinks, and just do what you want to do. Do you want to start that business? Do you want to start running? Do you want to go to the gym? Do you want to call that person that you haven't talked to in years and you're worried that they don't like you because you haven't talked in so long? Do you want to start a podcast? Do you want to start posting on YouTube? Do you want to start vlogging your day? If anyone is judging you, it is out of a point of reflection of who they are, not you. So if you get a negative comment, or if someone says something to set you back, just remember that is a reflection of who they are and not you. Do not let the fear of what anyone else thinks or your fear of looking stupid hold you back, because at the end of the day, that's the only thing that's stupid, holding yourself back.